Okay.
Okay, we've got the
I see
first
it.
game. Okay, so how it's been for you? The games.
Yeah, so I think it's like your advice is pretty helpful, especially like you asking me to blast the towers down, uh, and then like play around the catapult timings.
Yeah.
I think that sort of like I feel a lot better when I play the games. I can feel like okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this. For example, like if things go well in the first 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Um, yeah, but then some games I don't get to blast towers and I feel kind of useless throughout the game. And I don't know what to do. And I picked two replays. So this replay we won. I think we had a pretty good first 10 minutes. But then, I have three cores. One is an AM who obviously wants to, hit his 35-minute timing or something like that, right? And then I have a Nature's Prophet who wants to rotate into a fight. So I want to play away from him, right? But I think the Sand King was kind of underfarmed, under level, or even though he was like in the same lane as I was. So I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know how to play after like all the tier ones were down, for example.
Yeah. So looking at this game, I think what you described is actually perfect. So you have AM and you want to force people away from him, and this guy wants to join fight. So your hero as a core to play around is most likely the Sand King. Yeah. But if he has his issues, it can be hard. If he's underfarmed or he doesn't want to participate in fights, then yeah, it can be far. It can be hard, right? But
Yeah.
then also you have the shaman hero, and this hero is very strong when it comes to pickoffs. So he's not the core, obviously. Depending on the yeah. So he has a lot of damage. So you can also play with him as a support. Like double supports. Do you want me to
Okay.
go over this game first or the other one?
Yeah, maybe we can go over this game quickly.
Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you. So we talked about the Pugna, right? You
Okay.
said you have some games that you're able to hit the towers and some games you aren't, right?
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of games you feel like you are able to hit the towers and then you have a good game?
Maybe two-thirds of the games.
Yeah. So for the start, that's good enough. That's good enough for you to climb, right? If you're able to hit towers with Pagna, you're gonna win majority of them. So that's the good start.
Okay, well, I'm able to hit towers two-thirds of the time, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, the games where I feel like a god, maybe it's like half of the games that I'm able to hit towers. So like maybe 33%. So the other 33% is like it's games like this, like this particular game that we're gonna analyze. So I'm able to hit towers, and then by the time I get to the 20-minute mark, I don't know what to do, and I feel like yeah, I'm kind of like losing impact. And then there's another third of the games where I'm just not able to hit towers at all. I just feel useless the entire game,
Okay.
which is like the next replay we're gonna look
That's
at.
completely fair enough, and I think we're gonna cover that. So I just wanna
Okay.
quickly watch out this laning stage.
Okay.
But I know what the issue can be, and I will explain you that. But
Okay.
the first step is to, teach you how to push towers as Pagna, right? And after that,
Yeah.
how to control the map after you get the towers, or what to do if you cannot get the towers. But in most cases, if you're able to, you said 66% of the games you're able to hit towers, that's fine. And now if we teach you how to control the map after that, well, that's 70% win rate, right? Already.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Because there's one big reason why sometimes you feel like this when you're playing a hero like Pugna and you play Montages.
Okay.
Nice move.
And they're off.
So far, so good. Okay. So you block the camp. The lane is kind of pushing, right?
Mhm.
So your only job is to make sure this disruptor doesn't get to deward this. So
Okay.
basically, just keep him busy. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
Right now, he doesn't have spells, right? He has the glimpse and he used it. So
Yeah.
keep him busy. Against certain players, what you've done there is gonna cost you the camp. That's what I mean.
Okay. Okay. So I need to how to say, position myself aggressively, right? To not let him do the
Well,
reward.
it's obviously not that clear cut because in the end you're playing against Juggernaut, right? So if he's able to connect quickly, you're gonna die.
Okay.
So maybe standing here is fine, but basically that means you're giving up the camp for free, right? So
Okay.
maybe in this scenario, I'm gonna show you here. Like here, you try to kite him to the right side maybe a bit, and then down here or back to the lane. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like it's not a big issue, honestly.
Okay.
It's just clutching at straws, Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be many issues with you on the laning stage. Nice pull. Everything you did so far in this game was fine. Honestly. I'm not even talking about, playing like a legend. I'm saying at probably doing every move you did, basically the same, almost the same. Like this ward could be more efficient, but other than that, it's just like, well done, brother.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you could have pulled this though.
Which one?
Like at this moment. Yeah, it was this moment. Instead of just waiting to hit this creep, you can pull this.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's not a big issue, no. I can see you're thinking in the laning stage, so that's the most important part, Because we're not here to, go over the laning stage and point out every single mistake. It's pointless. As long as you're playing above your level in the laning stage, then you're gonna be, having other issues than the laning. There's no point watching a normal tempo.
So much for the Radiant's courier, poor little fella.
I think you need to focus more on the pull camps, just because you have a Sun King that hero naturally just pushes the lane. So
Okay.
your aggression on the lane is fine. Just try to keep it back, because this hero
Okay.
will always push the tower, no matter what he does, because that's basically his name, right?
Radiant.
Was I like griefing the Sand King by like
No.
not pulling enough?
I'm telling you, like your laning stage is way above your level, honestly. So you don't need to worry about it that much. I'm
Okay.
just pointing out, like, we have to watch it so we see if there's like improvement from the last point, right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, yeah, there's a huge improvement. So we're watching it speed up. So if you're telling me that you have issues in the mid game, yeah, like you're basically doing what you're supposed to do here. You could be more efficient, yes. That doesn't mean you are doing anything bad. Okay, so here's a problem that starts right now. Obviously, the fact that you don't spell the gold, you didn't improve on that.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you what's the play here. What you've done here, this pull, is perfect for you. So the lane is gonna push. You have pulled the lane, and this is basically the moment you're not needed on the lane. I'm not gonna tell you you're useless, because if you play like this with aggression and all of that, and you're allowed to, you're not useless. But I think it's efficient, more efficient for you to just go and stack the triangle for your Sun King right now.
Ah, yes, that was what I was feeling because I didn't stack any camps this game, so I felt like
Was
maybe
quite
that was
sure
the
it's gonna
reason.
happen, by the way,
Yeah.
because you've done your job in this lane here. Like honestly, you did. Your Sun King is farming. He's obviously missing some losses, but you did your job of pulling the lane back and then harassing Juggernaut enough so he doesn't really have that much farm, right? So
Mhm.
your job here, I'm not gonna say it's done, but from now on, so you're doing your job, you get gold, right? At 4 minutes, around 4 minutes, you can realize that you're probably not gonna kill them because it's hard, it's Juggernaut and Disruptor, right? Unless you catch Disruptor, then yeah, you're gonna kill it. But other than that, your Sun King, so his missing last hits is like his issue. It's not your issue, right? So
Okay.
what you can do though is like leaving him in this position is actually perfect for you because he's unable to die because he has the Sunstorm, right? And then he has the Blink Away if they go on him. So unless he fucks up, he's not able to die. And you have your boots because you didn't forget to spend your gold again. And this is the perfect moment for you to just go like here, go stand here, let's say.
Yep.
Attack this camp, blast this camp, go back to the lane. It's gonna take 20 seconds in which
Okay.
he's gonna get some farm, some last hits, as well as experience solo, and he needs those, right? And then you have the
Yeah.
Sun
Yeah.
King. And when you look at their lineup, they have 0 heroes that farm the stacks. So sometimes you're gonna have this issue like you have the Sun King, but they have the mid laner that is able to steal the stacks. And then there's gonna be an issue, and sometimes it's just the right call. Because I will tell you to stack and they will steal it, and it's just unfortunate. But this game, you have no risk of them doing that, right?
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is the first point of this game, that you didn't do that, and I guess you're gonna do that later again. We just...
Yeah, I think I didn't stack at all. Like then like midway through the game when I realized like my Sand King was the level, then I remembered like because the previous session we had it was with like it was not so important to stack the camp. But I remember you gave an example like, oh, if there's a Sand King in your team, then you want to stack the stacks. So I remember it halfway like through the game, but then like I think by then it was like the 15-minute mark or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you, you have a Sand King, and perhaps you don't even need to stack. But the problem is, your Sand King, for some reason, has 13 last hits. And I don't think it's your issue. I don't think you did anything wrong here, so he doesn't get to farm. It's just him. Him as, the player. And that's just unfortunate for you. But, you're at the ranks.
I can make things a lot better if I stacked, right? So that would, like help him be a lot more effective in the middle game,
Because,
which I could play off.
one of the reasons why it's important for you, we already talked about this. So sometimes you're gonna have the mid laner that you can play around, right? And then you can leave your Sun King, and he's, it doesn't matter if you stack for him. He's gonna be able to jungle and just farm this way because you're playing towards the mid laner, you're getting impact with the mid laner, and this guy maybe is not allowed to lane here, but it doesn't matter for him because in the end he's able to farm the jungle effectively, even if it's not stacked, or maybe he stacks for himself, right? But the problem is we established the fact that you probably want to play around the Sand King in this game because the other heroes you have, right?
Yeah.
And another problem is AM is a hero that cannot be really left alone. this hero is based on the last hits. Like, all of his strength lies in the last hits, not levels. So if you leave this hero, I mean AM, and they stay with 2 heroes on bot lane, then he's not gonna be farming. It's not efficient for him. Sometimes you're gonna have a hero like let's say Bristleback. Then you can leave the position 1 here, and he's gonna farm, right? Or maybe even if he doesn't farm, he just brings 2 people, and then he's like offlane type of the carry. The hero that doesn't really need that much farm to be effective. AM is a prime example of a hero that needs to get farm. He cannot be alone. So it's not like your shaman can rotate away from him, and then you don't really want to rotate towards him, because if they have 2 versus 2, you can obviously help him by killing people, but then he just wants to hit creeps, right? So all of this, what we talked about, is important for you, for Sand King to have a good game. And then you need to make sure he does. And I would say up to this point, you've did like enough for you to, for Sand King to have a good game. But unfortunately, it's not enough for him. Because, I don't know, we could watch his perspective, but it doesn't matter. In the end, he has 13 last hits at 5 minutes, which is abysmal. And it's not like he was heavily contested in the lane. Yeah, just the player, Maybe, he's very old and he's or maybe he has a bad day, or maybe he's drunk as fuck. You don't know that. But you need to ask yourself right now, how do I help him having a good game?
Yeah. I think I asked the question a little bit too late. You know what I mean? All the things that you just mentioned, like, oh, play with AM and you want to play towards the Sand King. Like, I didn't realize it during this time. I was just focused on my own game. And only like maybe at the 12, 15 minute mark, then I realized, oh, actually I want to play around Sand King. But like by that time, it was maybe a bit too late to, like, I wasn't thinking far ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I'm watching your laning stage, and if I didn't know your rank, I would say divine. Like, I'm being honest. I would say your divine level rank.
I don't spend my money, so that's a big telltale
That's the only
sign.
problem, honestly, though. Like, all you did here was divine level of play so far, until this minute, which is crazy considering your rank, right? Yeah, I mean, you can help the Sun King. Obviously, it's a matter of perhaps you can play towards yourself as well, and it's fine. Like, if you have the Sun King who's like griefing right now because he has 13 last hits, maybe you, in this case, like, he dies, you take like 5 last hits out of the lane, and then you get Arcane Boots ASAP, and then you just rotate towards other lanes. But if you ask me, what's the ideal world, in this game, then yeah, at 4 minutes you pull this camp, which you did, and then you stack for your Sand King, and then at 5 minutes you do the same. Because before 5 minutes, it's not really efficient for you to go and
stack. So if I have a core hero that is able to farm stacks well, ideally I want to be stacking every minute, right? Is that what you're saying?
So if they have no heroes to contest, and then so it's kind of different. It's not black and white. That's what I'm gonna say. Because this game, maybe you don't even need to stack. And the reason is, you put so much into your lane as in your playstyle that this Sand King is supposed to have like 30 last hits right now. He's supposed to have 30 last hits. But you're playing on low ranks, right? So he's gonna miss last hits and, not care about them, all of that shit. So in this kind of game, they cannot contest it, and you secured your lane good enough, like your Sand King is not feeding, and he's not supposed to die here as well. And there's like 2 scenarios. If you stay on the lane, you stood on the lane for 5 minutes, right? He has 13 last hits. That means every minute he's getting like 3 last hits. That's fucking crazy. And 1 stack of big camp is basically 3 last hits.
Yeah.
So if you're missing from the lane for 30 seconds, that means let's say he's not going to be able to touch creeps, right? I mean, that's obviously only related to your rank. That's the problem, right? Because in higher ranks, the people, if you leave them for 30 seconds, they will miss like 5 last hits. But this guy, you being there, you not being there for 30 seconds is the difference of 1.5 last hit. And you getting one stack, only one camp stacked, is more. And then if you stack 2, that's even more, you know. And those camps are quite easy to stack as well. So you shouldn't fuck it up, I think. You attack like one
Okay.
at 53, and then the second blast is 54, and you stack both camps.
Yep. Yep.
So if your Sun King is free farming and you can feel it, like you know he's not missing last hits, then yeah, you don't need to stack here. Because what you've done on the lane is so far so good. So
How do you know, like,
in another game you should be stacking here, because in another game maybe your Sun King is able to use the advantage that you're creating with your hero.
Dyer's mid tower.
In
could
this
use a
game,
little
yeah,
help.
I think it's you're better always stacking here. That's what I mean.
okay, okay. I think it's quite common, like, like for people in my bracket to miss last hit. So, like, I think, like in the future, whenever I see like a hero that can take stacks, like a teammate that can take stacks, I will stack because, yeah, that can easily, I think, maybe even double their last hits by minute 10.
Keep in mind, you're
Stacks
getting
was
experience gold for mid as well. Even if you're not
yeah,
good, it's important for
yeah.
you as well. So that's one thing that goes for you. So if you stack for him, he will get the gold as well. And then you obviously get also the lane for you. So imagine you stack 3 camps. Okay, so let's imagine you're the smart one in this lane combo, right? Because that's true. You stack for him twice, and then you tell him, dude, I stacked for you, you have triple stack here. And he's like, okay, he stacked for me, and I can't fucking last hits because, I'm drinking today and I can't even fucking hit the creeps. Let's say that's the issue, right? And he's like, okay, I'm gonna fuck off to the jungle and hit the stack. I'm gonna double up my last hits. And then you're like, okay, they leave the lane. I mean, Sun King leaves the lane. I can stay here and just get some last hits for myself. And then I get arcanes and level 6 out of it. Because,
Yeah.
we're talking about this game. I don't think you're supposed to play towards the mid lane right now because, there's no bottle heroes and the enemy mid laner is Weaver for some reason. So I think it's perfectly fine for you to stay on this lane for 6 minutes. Perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think me staying in this lane wasn't like a conscious decision. It was just like, I just non-stop fighting, and then
I mean, it's
same
fun.
thing.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. It wasn't like I'm going to stay in this lane and try to abuse like the catapult timing or anything like
Yeah,
that.
what you're doing right now is fine. You're obviously not being efficient with the fact that you have so much gold that you don't use the stick and all of that shit.
Yep.
You need to work on that, and you know that, right? So just
Yes. Yes.
yeah. But like playstyle wise, I think what you're doing here is perfectly fine. Like I'm telling you, 7 minutes, divine level.
Shuttle flies. Going up.
I wasn't sure if I liked it, but
Radiant bottom tower. Pretty sight right now.
Because I had no mana, right?
I mean, there's a couple of reasons for that, but it seems to work out. So yeah, I mean, that is stupid, honestly. But if it works out, it's not stupid. If something looks stupid but works, it's not stupid. That's what I'm gonna say. Because you leave.
Yeah, but that was not.
Right? That wasn't a conscious decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, I mean, you get 3 kills in bot lane. That's completely fine. Like, I like the fact that you decide to rotate. I think it would be more efficient for you to go for the XP shrine and then TP from there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it fucking works, so I'm not gonna flame you for that. I hope you spend your gold,
Okay.
though.
In another world, it might not have worked. So
Dyer's mid tower having technical difficulties.
when am I going to spend my?
I mean, you go to base, you get mana, and you get. I'm assuming arcane boots, right?
Trouble.
I hope so.
Yeah, you're not efficient with your time. That's what I'm gonna say. But you're still playing way above your level, like way above it, in terms of moving around the map, rotating, and late presence. Yeah. Do you use quick buy though? Do you put the items here a lot?
Uh okay. So I don't know why, but when I play core, I put all the items that I want to buy like up to minute 20. You know what I mean? Like from the beginning, I know what my build is gonna be. But like as a support, then because like I'm always sometimes want to buy a grenade or another sentry and that thing. So I don't have quick buy there, which I think is a very bad habit of mine.
I mean, you're playing Pugna. I think you want arcane boots every game, every time, no matter what happens.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
if you have this issue with you forgetting about buying items, it's fine for you to just have them in quick buy and already just mark the fact that you want to buy them.
Okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
it's fine. If it makes it easier for you, yeah, go for it. But again, you went to the bot lane. You obviously forgot about the shrine, right?
Yes.
Wait.
Dyer might want
Sun King got it. So that's fine. That's even better for you, Because if you told me I TP'd bot because I want my Sun King, who's under level, to get the shrine, that's perfectly fine. That's even a better decision than you just taking it. But I
No. I just TP because I saw like shit was going to happen and then they were being, yeah.
But if you told me that you did it on purpose, that I would be very fine with that. Because your Sun King is actually under leveled as well. Yeah. But you went to the bot lane, you got 3 kills, you went back base, you bought your items, you're TPing mid to pressure this tower. Perfect. Like, honestly, perfect. And you blast the tower. Nice. Clarities are your big friend as a Pugna, by the way.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that because like I feel like I'm running into mana issues sometimes.
Yeah, what I'm watching here is crazy. Like the journey you did so far between the sessions is crazy. Like it's 9 fucking minutes and you're getting a second tower. This bracket, brother, that's crazy.
No, this is still the first tower.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's still like it's the most important tower.
The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid.
I mean, maybe not this. So why is this mid tower important? I'm gonna explain it. It doesn't apply to this game, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. So this tower is very important because usually you have the mid laners that use the bottle, right? And they really want their runes. So it makes so much more efficient for supports to not secure runes at certain point of the game because 6 minutes, 8 minutes, you're probably here to secure it, right? But after that, you probably are making plays on the other lanes, and then you TP towards the mid lane so you can secure the runes. So if you take this tower right now, and you have, these 2 bottle heroes, they need to bring the supports here, despite the fact that they are not killing anyone here with the runes. But they need to be there because they cannot react to the runes. They cannot be, and that makes scenarios like you're gonna have single heroes on the side lanes. So what you can do is like you take this tower and then you play towards the safe lane or top lane, and the other support is supposed to be on the rune, and then you can TP to the tower and fight for the rune after you get the kill on the side lanes. But that's obviously, more complicated. That's why this tower is important for you. It's obviously less important if you had no bottle heroes, but it's still important to take the runes, right?
Yeah. You mean like 9 minutes and 30 seconds, you rotate to another lane, get a kill, and TP back to fight for the mid room? Is that enough time?
I'm talking if this tower is dead, it's just like allowing you to have more opportunities. Because
Okay.
it's
Okay.
also like you can be on the mid lane as 3 heroes and they have like 2 heroes. But if you manage to catch someone, it's not like anyone will connect instantly, right? Because they need to walk from this area.
Yep.
So it's way more efficient. So it's like I could be explaining all of this. The most important part is if you take towers is good. That's all you need to remember. Because as
Mm.
again, we don't want to overwhelm you with too much
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
I want to overwhelm you with the fact that you're supposed to buy items
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not why mid tower is important. It's important. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
This is unfortunate.
Radiant's mid towers get banged up.
Remember your distress mode, right? So you can like cast man.
Ah. Okay. So I thought like because he's gonna put his ward, so I don't decrepify because
He's supposed to catch him anyways. You don't even know how proud I am right now. Why did you portal there?
Highest.
the tower is gonna go down, right? Like it's I wanted to finish the job I started like on the top lane.
But why would you leave the bot lane right now?
I only thought of like going to the top lane and finishing the tower.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking here. I'm here. We fucked up the Rasta ultimate. It's useless right now, so he's useless right now. And the AM doesn't really want to fight. I don't want to bait him into fights. And my shaman is either dead or useless. So I don't want to be here. Then I'm gonna fuck off to the
Top
other
tower's
lane
getting
through the
beat
portal
down.
and hit the tower. That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking. I mean, it's pretty close to what you did in terms of, your decision making. But in the end, yeah, I mean, that works. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So again, other than buying the items, I'm still keeping my ward at divine level game.
Dire's got one last top tower.
And I'm assuming the problems are gonna start now, right?
Yeah. Soon. Like then we start to take fights and Senking dies a lot. Then I realized, oh shit, he's actually quite low level. and then I'm wondering like, okay, what can I do?
The only reason why this doesn't work out because you're late. Because you didn't have the
Oh,
Radiant's bottom
whoa, that's late. Well, this doesn't help you against Bunch.
oh, okay. Did not know that.
I mean, if you get hit by bugs, you just need to remove them ASAP.
Okay.
Like hit them or Glimmer Cape or use Scepter yourself. Obviously, this
Oh,
guy
yeah,
is not that important because he doesn't have the XP bugs.
I don't even know what that is. So meaning like the bugs will still hit me through.
XP. So every time you use the bugs on someone and they get hit by the bugs, they get like the Weaver gets like 14 XP, I believe.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So even if I decrepify myself, the bugs will still be able to hit me.
I'm not sure if you. I think you take the damage as well, but maybe you don't. But the most important part is you still lose XP. So in
Okay.
this case.
Okay.
And basically, what happens if you get hit by bugs and they are not killing you instantly, you need to take it as soon as possible. And you decrepping yourself is just reducing your armor further, so you basically take more damage.
Use a hand.
Oh,
Just
okay.
click
Okay.
the bug. Click the bug. That's all you need to know.
Bottom
Yeah.
towers get
Okay.
business. Radiant's mid towers get banged up. Roots and run.
Would you say the problems start here or it's like a bit later?
I think soon. But it's because right now all the tier ones are down,
Yes.
and then
Dire's bottom
yeah,
tower's getting
and then like now maybe I bait my team into fighting more than is necessary.
I mean, I didn't see you baiting there.
in a row.
It's fine. It's fine.
The Dire best
What
do
you're gonna
something
do
about
next
the bottom
is
tower.
gonna be
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged.
Okay, so what should I do now? Like,
yeah.
this is the part of the game where
It's actually So the first thing here is let's go back in time. You take this fight. You take the creeps. And you need to look at the clock. In 20 seconds, there's gonna be XP run.
so should I stay
Better
there?
for you to stay on the XP run.
Okay.
Is your Furion gonna have a TP? No. Okay. So that's one problem. I still think. Okay, let's see how it works out in the end.
Guess what's happening to Dire? Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Yeah, they are late. So let me go back in time. Farm this. The next wave is coming right now. You're kind of afraid, but on the other hand, there's no reason to. And why is that? Because Weaver is dead. Weaver is the one that catches you, right? But he's dead. So that's the first thing. The second hero that catches you is Juggernaut. Perhaps. But on the other hand, like, how does Juggernaut kill you?
When I got no creeps around me. Oh, I mean, even then he can't kill me because I have Decrepify.
He cannot kill you. And then on the other hand, you see him, right?
Mhm.
Like you have perfect vision of him. So even if he comes, he has like two ways to deal damage towards you. Either spin or ultimate. If he ultimates you, you just decrep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he spins, you just suck him. So he's not able to kill you. And then obviously Disruptor is able to, catch you, but he doesn't have the ultimate, so he doesn't kill you. So, and Viper, he's very slow, right? So you can always kite him, and he only deals damage by clicking you. So if he doesn't have a stun, you can always suck him, right? And he's not gonna be able to kill you. So that's all the thought process that we've done here to think about the fact, can you die here? And the answer is, you can only die if they bring at least 2 heroes. But make them.
Yep.
You need to make them
Dire's
bring
bottom
them
tower's
make
getting
them
the
bring 2
business.
heroes.
Radiant's mid
So you
tower's
farm
getting
this
banged
wave,
up.
maybe, or you just stand here. It would be perfect if you had the ward, by the way. So I'm gonna show you. You're farming here on the aggressive side of the map. That's what we're gonna cover from now on, basically, because that's the issue. And I was imagining it's gonna happen, by the way. So you stay here, you farm here, and then you take the XP shrine. That means, they are under leveled, right?
Mhm.
And then, worst case scenario, they bring heroes to kill you, right? That means this guy is hitting creeps, this guy is hitting creeps, and this guy is hitting creeps. So in the worst case scenario, you die, but that means 3 of your cores are hitting creeps. That's the worst case scenario. And best case scenario, you just get not even the best, but you just get the XP shrine. So in games when you don't know what to do, and it's obviously gonna be a bit tricky than me telling you to hit the towers. You take all the towers. It's your job to play on enemy side of the map. It's very important for you, because this way you open up the map. So in the starting point of the game, you have 50% of the map, right?
Mhm.
After you take the tower, you're able to farm, this camp, maybe even the triangle, maybe. But this camp is safe for you. This is safe for you. This is kind of safe for you as well. This is safe for you. This is safe for you. You open up the map, but you don't use the fact that you open up the map. So I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen if you in the games you struggle with. You take tier 1 towers, but you don't farm aggressively and you farm defensively. And then the fact that you open up the towers doesn't fucking matter because you're not using the possession that you can have. It's like,
Okay.
let me find an analogy.
It's like all these camps belong to us basically right now after the towers are down. But
They
then
can't belong
if you're
to
not farming it, then what's the point of like having those camps? Because we're not making use of it anyway.
I'm gonna think about an analogy. It doesn't matter for now. But yeah, so basically you are able to farm 70% of the map right now after you took tier 1 towers.
Mhm.
That means and sometimes it's gonna mean you're gonna die more. Yeah, it will happen. Because imagine you show up here and then you farm this wave and then you take the XP shrine and then you die because they bring, Disruptor and Weaver TBs. But that opens up the map so much for your cores, it's actually crazy. Because what's gonna happen is this Juggernaut's gonna be farming, Viper's gonna be farming, but the other cores of yours will be farming as well. And then obviously Shaman is dead, right? But when he respawns, he's able to connect to any core or just farm as well. So that means you're not using possession of the map. And if you're here and they don't show up here, you can, farm this camp, right? And then what's gonna happen is this Weaver is gonna respawn. He's gonna be, okay, I go bot, I farm this way, I take this camp, I take shrine. And then he's not gonna have the camp and he's not gonna have the shrine. It's gonna be non-efficient for him to be here, but he doesn't know that yet. Because he doesn't know that you took the shrine and the camp.
Yeah.
And every bit of efficiency that they lose.
Oh, will I not just feed Weaver if I just, he comes and then he sees no cans, but he sees me and then he just kills me?
I mean, let's watch what happens here, right? So imagine you farm this, or maybe you're just standing here. So maybe you're afraid that they will connect. So maybe you don't show on this wave, but you stand here, you have this ward or this ward for yourself.
Mhm.
You farm this camp, right? And then you take the shrine.
Okay.
You don't even.
So you're not saying like just stay in the area the whole time. You're just saying like, okay, at this juncture, this and then go back. Like still farm like intelligently, right? Like not just like
Because
trying to take all their
there's
camp.
many scenarios I could talk about, but all involved in this camp. This area. Because this area is very important because in the next minutes there's gonna be XP shrine, right?
Yeah.
So it's obviously efficient for you to have observer right now. Spade, sorry. But you can do that without the observer. So it looks like this right now. It's 30 seconds away from the shrine. You are able to farm this, and I'm very glad that you did. Because you're not running away from this area because there's no reason. The heroes that are alive cannot kill you. We established the fact, right? Sometimes if you play here and they have a hero that is able to just, straight up kill you, well, then it's kind of risky for you. It may be good for you to stay there, but it's risky. Right now, it's not even fucking risky. You're allowed to stay here. And you can do so much here in this area. So you can even blast the tower right now. Once or twice. It adds up, believe me. It adds up. Because 28 damage, right?
Do something about
208
that
damage.
bottom tower. Radiant's mid towers.
And then, if you're afraid of them, you cannot show on this lane maybe. But you got this range creep already. This is already pushed into the tower. The tower is taking damage. You used one blast, right? On the tower, as well as the range creep. You're level 8, so you killed the range creep. And right now you're afraid of them, but you're playing in this area and you're farming this. And you're standing over there and you're able to steal XP. And okay, blah blah blah. I'm here, okay. And then I pause the game. You just took the XP shrine and you look at the map right now. and you see the Viper here, but you don't know where the supports are. But you farmed this camp, and you took the XP shrine. So it's the perfect time for you to just leave this area.
Mm.
Because if this happens, right, and then you see Disruptor and CM on the mid lane right now, then it's perfectly fine for you to just stay there. Because you can assume they use the TPs to TP here, right?
Yep.
And you're not
True.
you don't need to be afraid of this Viper again. Because this hero doesn't kill you. Like, if you see them here, the supports, you can even stand here and just try to kill Viper. Because you know that they don't have TPs. And what's gonna happen is, worst case scenario, they use TP on Disruptor and CM, right? And let's imagine either Juggernaut or Weaver connect towards you. What can you do?
TP away?
Yeah, with Decrep. Because they don't have stuns, right?
Yeah.
And you not only stole their XP, but you force away a core here towards you, and you just, TP it away. And then you chat wheel. Voice lines. You're like, okay, guys, fine, nice. And all of this, all I'm talking about is like you doing solo things. That means your 3 cores get to farm creeps. And that's your job as a support, to secure them creeps. And sometimes you don't even need to, be with them or do anything towards them for them to be able to hit creeps. Sometimes it's just you being somewhere else and forcing people to play towards.
Okay, I get it now. So, like, basically, be a bit more aggressive on the aggressive side of the map. Force, like, people to react to me or, like, and then
this is basically the point that we're obviously gonna cover all the replays and all of that, but that's the most important part of this session already. After you take tier 1 towers, just make sure you use the fact that you took the towers. So you farm aggressively. So this has to be farmed, but not by you, but AM.
Okay.
And you scream to the shaman, bro. As soon as maybe you're fine farming like this here, right now. Maybe. I'm not saying you have to force things every time, right? But let's imagine you farm this camp, and then you go to farm, one more camp, and then you tell your shaman, bro, as soon as you have your ultimate, we're gonna go aggressively and just find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because, forcing all the time might not work out, but your default stance should be aggressive. Like, after you take tier 1 towers, that means you usually have a gold advantage. Because, they give you gold, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really want to play defensively, because that allows enemies to farm same amount of map as, they would be able to if they had the towers. And your advantage, as you took the towers, is the fact that you can play aggressively and they cannot react quick enough. Because, every TP is gonna be towards tier 2, not tier 1. So every move you make on like this, those camps are a perfect example, right? They are very unsafe if this tower is here.
Yeah.
But if the tower is not there, there are like the same amount of space between, your tower, tier 1 tower, and their tier 2 tower. So it's basically way safer for you. Because when you think about it, it's very hard for you to have, as a Pugna, you have the shaman, right? But as a Pugna, it's very hard for you to have impact on this game, other than hitting towers. Because, maybe impact is a wrong word, but, kill them.
Yep. I don't have catch.
Yeah. You're playing against Weaver that you don't have catch for, as a, solo hero, right? And then the Viper doesn't really care about you being able to, sack him, because, he's not gonna die from it. And then the Juggernaut you're never killing, because he has 2 ways to disengage from you. I'm only talking about you being able to kill them. But on the other hand, when you think about it, you're very important as a hero when it comes to, team fights. Because the supports are unable to cast their spells. They have low HP people, and their spells cost a lot of mana. So it's gonna be very hard for them to team fight if you're there and you're placing the ward. And then you have the Decrep that deals perfectly fine with Juggernaut and Weaver. and you can heal people. So the Juggernaut hero is like he either bursts somebody or he's useless. He has to commit either his spin or ultimate, right? So if you're here to save somebody with your heal or decrep, that means you have huge impact in the fights.
Radiant's mid tower.
Yeah, and the other support has double stun, so you're supposed to play with him right now because this is what's gonna happen to the Weaver.
Dyer's good. Needed final delivery.
Oh, this is just so...
Yeah, so in this game, the enemy hero that I had the most trouble with was Viper. Like he was basically bullying me at every team fight. I didn't know how to deal with him.
I'm gonna show you. I think this fight is supposed to be good.
Somebody.
Yeah, your Furion tip is aggressive, very aggressive. And what I'm doing here is I remember you can cast spells when you're sucking, right? What I'm doing here is healing this Furion. I think you're fine with if you heal him.
Okay, instead of like hitting
No, let
CM.
me watch it again. Okay, never mind. I'm not healing the... I think you're making a mistake.
Okay.
Because when you think about it, why would you decrep him? What's the reason behind it?
He takes more damage from the blast.
But the main reason... Okay, so the decrep has a lot of usages, right?
Yeah.
But the main usage of it, if you use it on enemies, is not for them to take more damage, especially if it's only you hitting them, but to slow them down.
Okay.
This CM is standing in one place.
Okay.
So right now, I just sack him, and this Viper comes.
Then I do crepify myself.
And then
when do you decrepify yourself versus the enemy?
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky question.
Okay.
So if you're like, in this case, I would say decrep yourself because you have this word, so it's able to hit him if if he's in the range, right? So I'm gonna, obviously, this is not what I like a lot because we're gonna go through the team fight, but I mean you have many sessions, right? So let's do it. How you think about this? So yeah, you did decrep. Wow. Now you decrep, and what's gonna happen? This Viper is very likely to go into the ward, right?
Yeah.
Because he's running away from you, because he cannot hit you. He's probably not gonna chase you down. That's what I'm assuming. And if he is, that means you're gonna have the life drain soon, and you're gonna, he's not gonna be able to kill you anyways.
Okay.
So if he goes there, as you decrypt yourself, your shaman has these spells. So he's gonna catch him, and then you're gonna kill the Viper, right? That's the likely scenario.
You are brilliant. Now.
And it's all because you decrypt. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't you. I want to say. Yeah, because he would be dead.
That's four in a row.
And then just one like that. Yeah. I mean, that's just unfortunate. You win this game though, right?
Yeah. And so, like, because like this middle game part was like tough, right? I felt like, okay, I could have done something better to end the game, but because it didn't go well, so I ended up, waiting for AM's timing, and then basically put all my items on him, save him as much as I can. Heal him.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to the second game because there's a single reason for that. So we could be, go over your spell casting and all of that shit. I don't think you're playing way above your rank in this game. That's what I'm gonna say. You play not aggressively in some cases. It's gonna like we could go over and watch 20 minutes, and there's gonna be cases that you're farming here instead of playing aggressively, and that's gonna be the issue. But you already know that, right? So
Yeah.
games like this, it's supposed to be hard. That's the point. It's gonna be hard for a single reason. Your Sun King doesn't have a good game. So you doing things based on the power of your spikes is gonna be hard because your Sun King has a tough game, and then you have AM. And the AM as a hero is useless for first. He needs like 3 items to be useful. So whatever you did here to win the game is fine. Because in the end, you put all the eggs into AM basket, but that's fine. That's a very good game to believe in AM. So obviously, some games like this are not enjoyable because you know what, you want to do things, but you're not able to, and you need to wait for AM to get fat. But yeah, I mean, if your Sun King has a game like this and he's like down below on the net worth, yeah, that's gonna be just tough, and then you have to play towards the late game timing. And there's nothing you can do about it because, again, I'm not here to point out every mistake. I'm just gonna say what you did so far in this game is good enough for you to climb. And then only thing I can tell you about this game without even watching it, I can tell you that you're gonna be farming defensively instead of offensively, and the game is gonna be boring, and nobody's gonna be doing anything useful. And then your AM is gonna get fat and you're gonna win the game, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you take tier 1 towers, you're supposed to play aggressively. That means ward aggressively, take their XP shrine, maybe take their triangle farm, place deep wards, and just strangle them. Not play defensively, but offensively. Obviously, in some games, when you have 2 cores that want to farm, let's say you have, Alchemist Med, then it's going to be very hard for you to play aggressively. So maybe you take tier 1 towers, and then you play defensively again. Like, as long as you have 50% of the map, is fine. But in this kind of games, when you have Furion and you have Sand King, I think it's perfectly fine for you to, play aggressively, let Sand King farm, maybe stack for him a bit. Furion is going to join. Your core is a Shaman here. I mean, not a core hero, but the hero that you want to use timings of. And then, yeah, I mean, AM gets the space and he's going to be getting fat and you're going to win the game. As long as you play aggressively. Or maybe it's like, after you take tier 1 towers, you're going to have those 3-4 minutes that you're able to play aggressively. And then the enemies will kick you out. And that's fine. Because that's still 3-4 minutes that you have 70% possession of the map. And then you go back to 50. But that's still the difference of 2k gold or 3k gold. And sometimes it's fine. But your default idea should be, after I take tier 1 towers, it's important for me to play aggressively. That means you take the other support and play aggressively. You play towards your mid laner timings. Maybe you have a bot lane hero, then you rotate towards runes. But your default plays, it should be, being in their area, not in your defensive area.
Yeah, I think if I think back about those games that, my team storms the enemy, it's always because we take the tier 1 towers early, and then my cores are also farming aggressively, and I'm playing near them. So then it kind of really strangles the enemy. And I guess if my cores are not doing it, then I will try to do it in the future.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes you're gonna be fine farming defensively as a Pugna. But those are the games that, let's say your Sand King is very fucking fat, and let's say he doesn't have the ultimate. He doesn't have the ultimate, or maybe a Beastmaster, and he's farming aggressively. Then you're fine with farming defensively, but being able to TP back to him, right?
Mm.
Because you're farming, then it's not like you're taking tier 2 towers, and then you don't have a timing that you want to use. Or maybe you even do. Maybe let's say you have a timing, but you have control of 80% of the map. Then maybe it's fine for you to just farm for like, 3-4 minutes. Because maybe you have a timing, but then you have, this AM that wants to finish Battle Fury, or a mid laner that wants to farm BKB. So it's not always the case that you have to force things out. Sometimes it's fine to farm if your cores are fine with farming aggressively. It's almost always bad to farm defensively if you have an advantage. It's almost always bad.
Okay. If my cores are not farming aggressively, then I should be the one
Yeah.
farming
Yeah,
aggressively,
that's
right?
that's
Yeah.
the simple answer. And
Okay.
sometimes you're gonna die because of it. But as long as you farm decent amount and then you force people to be there, that's fine. You have
Okay.
to accept
I'll
your
try
death
this.
sometimes.
I'll try this in the next games.
So that's the second one, right? Did you lose this one?
Yes. I think this one I felt like I had zero impact. Kind of.
Wait, what is that? Silence. Wait. You have mid lane disruptor against Slark. Okay. I mean, just from this is gonna be hard. Slark counters disruptor so well. So in the laning stage at least. So that the network difference is already showing, right? So
Sorry, how do you know that slap counters disruptor, or why does slap counter
because you
disruptor?
can dispel his Q. And what I'm assuming
Oh.
this disruptor wants, if he plays the mid lane, is like max his Q. No, wait. Who was the mid lane for you? Was the disruptor?
Yeah, I think it was a
Because
disruptor.
15 last is at 12 minutes. What? 10 last is at 10. What? Okay. I mean, we're gonna watch this game. There's no way, no fucking way you win a game with a mid lane that is classic.
Okay.
Very fucking rough.
Okay, so basically, there are some games that just
Some games are gonna be very, very, very
Everybody
hard.
get set.
It goes without saying. This one is in the bag.
What's your logic behind the item?
Because it's a life stealer, and he doesn't cast spells, so instead of a stick, I get a stats. Like what we spoke before, or
Okay, so yeah, I mean you have the logic, right? So that's good that you didn't get the stick. Maybe the lion is on your lane, and then it's obviously very useful to have stick versus lion. I think you're not
Okay.
supposed to spread right now if you smoke.
30 seconds
Fair
to
enough.
showtime.
Keep in mind, if you're playing against Slark, placing mid vision is very counterproductive because he can see it, right?
okay,
Because he has this innate that if he walks into the ward's range, he's gonna lose it. So he's always able to check it. It's obviously
Okay.
matchup specific, right? But you can keep that in mind as well.
First blood. I thought
Kinda interested to watch the mid lane. Pocket. You have to assume you're playing against Patch, right?
yep.
Because
So this is bad positioning.
You see the Patch. Okay, if I started, I'm gonna finish. If you play against position 5 Patch, it's very important for you to play on the right side.
Okay,
You can
okay,
assume so if the Patch is position 5, he's gonna be standing exactly here and just try to hook you. every time.
Okay.
So you
We'll never play on the left side.
side is risky, but right now you see the
Okay.
patch, so it doesn't matter for you. Just keep that in mind when you're ever playing against position by patch. Always try to play away from the side that people put the book.
I go there myself.
Very good, very good. Very good. Yeah, I was about to say you're supposed to go here. Nice. I think you're getting smurfed basically. This Lark has more last hit than your son. How to Lark. But by
Sorry? Say again?
I think you're getting smurfed on. I think this Lark is just watching the movie, but amount of last hits is crazy.
Radiant towers.
Okay. Oh, because he's completely like bullying Disruptor out of the lane.
I mean, he counters him as a hero, but you know, we're not here to voice.
Okay. How does a Smurf look like? Like, how would you know? Like, besides the number of last hits?
I mean, that's the first thing.
Okay.
If he's farming this, yeah. So basically, the higher you go, you just learn to farm efficiently, right?
Yeah.
But I have zero issues with your lane so far. Again.
But um is it more common to have Smurfs like at my bracket? Just like maybe they're like really good players, but they just haven't turned on Dota for a long time.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, like, it just happens. You cannot control it, so you don't need to worry about it because Valve has to worry about it. That's it. That's what I mean. Some people
Yeah,
just want to smurf, and you know, until they get banned, I mean, what can you do about it? You know,
Yeah, true.
it's like
But then despite that, like I can still climb, right? So it's like this game is just it's from like after this, I'm just unlucky. Sometimes I get lucky on my side.
because you're maybe gonna find a smurf every 5 games, and you're still gonna climb because in some games it's gonna be on your team, some games it's gonna be an enemy team, right?
Exactly.
It's not an issue.
And I should I always disable the there's this option where you can only match against solo queue people.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it looks in your server, right? But I think it's very useful for you to just play. If you're playing solo, just play the solo queue. You know, so you're not matched up with parties. Yes, because I think it's way less likely to meet Smurfs if you're playing. You know, this without parties. Because in most cases, Smurfs just want to party up with friends, and that's the reason why you have Smurf. It's rarely the case of them being, you know, just wanting to win the games for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I have zero issues with your lane extension. Again.
But you notice I haven't blasted the towers, right? So
yeah, but it's still so the blast matters like on the towers unless you can, you know, harass enemies with it. I think level 3 blast, the point when you start blasting the tower.
Okay.
Unless you know, obviously you can get harassment on enemies. But you need to consider your mana as well, so... Look at that, you're even swapping the item. So again, on the mid lane, I don't think you're supposed to invest into this lane again because you don't have the bottle heroes. And if you come there, it's like you're just going to die. It's obviously important to have a stick versus Lion because he sucks your mana, but then he needs to use 2 spells for him to be able to do right.
Yeah.
It's useful to have a stick.
I just realized that like after, okay, so let's say I mistakenly buy stats, right, instead of like a stick, and then I realized, oh shit, I actually need the lane. Should I go back for the stick, or
Yeah.
is it too late? Okay, got it.
I mean, in most lanes, like there's rarely gonna be a lane that you don't want to have a stick on, because in
Okay.
most cases, even if they don't have spells, it's like they always do. Like that's the thing, right? It's not like they have 0 spells. Maybe they don't have spells that spam, but having a stick is very important because in the end, you're gonna have the stick anyways, always. Because
Okay.
if you're playing support, you're supposed to have a stick or a
Okay.
magic wand, right?
Because I remember the first game, in the first session, I can't remember which heroes we were playing against, but then it's like there was like you said, like 80% of a stick, and then 20% you don't. And I was thinking, okay, maybe this is one of them. But then, like later on, I realized.
Honestly, yeah, I get it. I think the stats are fun here, but the moment you see Lion, you're like, okay, I need the stick.
Okay.
Because your logic here is very fine. Like, I'm gonna tell it again. I think you're playing your laning stage way above your level, even in this game. I'm gonna tell you divine level again, other than the stick. But you're buying the items, so, divine level of playing. And you're what MMR? 600, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're doing here is perfectly fine. But as soon as you see Lion, or you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy the stick. And even if you don't see the Lion, and it's like Pudge, right? Then maybe you think about it. But in the end, around 5 minutes, you're supposed to have stick.
Oh, okay. So no matter what, I need to have a stick.
Yeah.
Like it's only whether I start with it or I don't start with it. Okay, got it.
Because there are
got it.
always gonna be spells that are gonna be casted. Always. Every game. So maybe you don't
So-
need a stick for the laning stage, but you need it for the game. Stick is a core item on any support hero. I don't think I can imagine a hero that you don't get a stick on in current meta, especially support. I don't think there's a single hero that doesn't want a stick. Because this item is broken. Like it's very broken item when you think about it.
Yep. It's a lot of regen, really, especially like from team fights, right?
So yeah, you're supposed to have stick, but other than that, yeah. I'm watching you pressure towers. And you see the difference, right? The lane is basically what you're doing on the lane is the same as you did in the last one, right? And then your mark into last hits. Not 15 or 20 as the Sand King. And I would argue this lane is harder for him than it was for the Sand King in the last one. Some games are gonna be like this. You have a guy that just cannot last him. Speed up.
Musical hell. That's 4. Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. Dire's mid tower is having technical difficulties. Dire's mid tower.
Yeah, so I've not blasted the tower at all.
Fine, it's fine. I mean, you've not blasted the tower, but the lane is like, okay, so all you need to worry about right now is your Mars getting farm. It's fine.
Okay.
Only, you have a problem, you have an issue on the mid lane, but from the draft you would have the issue anyways. And so sometimes you're gonna be able to address the mid laner if he's getting out of control, but it's a Slark, you're not able to. And then on the top lane, the sniper is killing people. So all you need to do is just play on this lane. And it's not like you need to blast the tower at this minute. It's fine for you to, as long as this hero is hitting the creeps, then you're fine playing there. And then if he gets 6, use Arena on Lion, and then you get the kill on Lion. And then you're gonna be able to hit the tower.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help. Dire's mid tower.
Second in the network card. I'm perfectly fine with what you're doing. You obviously can get the issue of the Slark just being out, but you cannot address it. So yeah. So your answer to the Slark here is to have Mars blink and just blink on him and kill him, right?
Dire's mid
So,
tower won't last much
In
longer.
order to have the answer, you then need Mars to have a good game. So it's perfectly fine to do.
Five in a row. Somebody's on the roll. Two down. Yes, what's that? Dire structure fortified.
I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I think what you're doing this game is perfectly reasonable. I think you're trolling me when you're telling me you have 600 MMR.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
You're basically trolling. There's no way. If you keep playing like this, you're gonna keep winning the game.
Radiant lost one of them bottom tower.
Okay, but after our coaching session, I played 13 games and I won 8. I lost 5. So
That's good enough.
You know,
In this game, I can tell you, you're not gonna win, and there's a single reason for that. It's Lark. He's really fat, and he's gonna be running around the map. You don't really have answers to him right now. And then, yeah, he's playing smart. He's gonna be.
okay, so I guess I just have to like play more games, right? Basically, just
If
get.
you- okay,
I
if
mean,
you turn-
the games like this will happen, and it's just part of the statistic.
Yeah. Because you've played 13 games, you won 8 of them, right? So that's, I'm not that good.
60%.
Yeah, but above 60%. So that's
Yeah,
what
maybe.
we're aiming for. I think aiming
Okay.
for 60% is good enough after coaching sessions. If it's, you keep it up for a long period of time. And sometimes, you're going to play like 20 games and you're going to have 50% win rate. But, sometimes the games are going to be like this. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
that much wrong in this game so far, considering your MMR. I think you're doing perfectly fine. You have this big issue on the Slark, but it's not like you can address that hero. Because, if it's a co-op, you can take her on. But if you come to the mid lane against this Slark, you're just gonna die. Right now, you have 3 supports, and they have, the score. Like, the difference between Disruptor, who was mid lane, and then the other mid laner is 3k gold, right? It's over 3k gold, and they have 1k gold advantage. So that means
Yeah.
if your mid laner is same amount of net worth as this Slark is, You have 2k gold advantage. And that's, you know, that's what you should be aiming for after the laning stage if you're playing a hero like a Pugna. I don't really see any issue with your playstyle in this game. It's just a matter of fact that you don't really have answers, right? And easy to line up.
Okay, no, because I was like, so like let's say I have a 60% win rate, right? So like 5 games I win 3 and I lose 2, right? So every 5 game I have a net +1 score, right? If you understand what I mean. Okay. So that's like 25 MMR every 5 games. So for me to move up 100 MMR, I would need 20 games. And for me to move to 400 MMR, I'll need 80 games. So that would be, and 1,000 MMR will be, how much is that? Like, that's 400, right? 400. So, wait, hold
I
on.
mean, you know, sometimes you're gonna have like 70%. I'm gonna tell you, if you play a hero like Pugna and you play like this, I don't think 60% is what you're gonna get. Because you had this issue of your laning stage being non-existent, right? And we explained to you in the last session what you're supposed to do to have a good laning stage. And we're meeting a week later, and I see 2 games of you absolutely destroying laning stage. I'm not even fucking lying. I'm talking divine level of play. Divine level. I'm playing with divine sometimes. This is the divine level of laning stage. So to play like a divine in the laning stage, that's fucking crazy. Your laning stage is 80% win rate games. You playing like this, you win 80% of the games in the laning stage. But then somehow it was like 66%, let's say, or 65%, right? And then the issue was you not playing aggressively enough after you took the towers, right?
Yeah.
So if you fix that, that's another 80% gameplay, like in the mid game, right? You know, using the timings, taking the towers, then playing aggressively. And then if there's any issues with that, after that, then you're still gonna hit above 70% win rate. And obviously it's gonna take some time, and sometimes you're gonna play aggressively and then just die over and over. But then you have to think about it. What went wrong? What was the reason? I was playing aggressive and I died here. Was it good or was it bad? Because sometimes, you can die and it can be good for you still. Because you're playing aggressively and then you force rotations. But sometimes you can just grief, straight up grief, by playing aggressively and just dying. But then you ask yourself, why is it grief? Maybe it's because, you have heroes that don't really want to join you here and you're asking for trouble. Because let's imagine you have, waves here. So you're supposed to play defensive. I mean, your cores are supposed to play defensive. And then you go aggressively. And that's basically the only place that enemies want to play around right now. And that could be bad for you, But until that point, I think if you play the laning stage like this, and then you try, I'm not going to tell you every game, but then you try to play on the enemy side of the map, and just force your allies to play there as well, then, well, you're going to keep winning more games. Because the laning stage right now is not an issue for you. You're playing.
Okay, so one question is like when I play on the enemy, the map, do I show on waves or do I try to like farm the camps and that are not like directly under vision?
So here's the thing. It all depends on the game state, right? Because sometimes you can bait enemies to go on you when you play on the enemy side on the map, right? So sometimes you want to show up on the waves.
Okay.
But let's imagine you show up on the waves and it's not like every single player in this bracket is gonna play with logic, right? But let's assume they do. So you show up on the wave, you're farming here, but nobody of your cores is showing up on the lanes. So let's imagine this is pushed in, this is pushed in. You're here alone, but every single member of your team is playing in the jungle.
right now. Then
It looks scary from
enemies
the
are afraid of them because they don't see them. Then you're more
Okay.
inclined to show on the waves. But if the game is like, you want to play here again, right? But the enemy wave is here and your carry is farming here, right? And then the other wave is here and your mid laner is farming here. That means if you're farming aggressively, they know for a fact that this guy and this guy won't be able to connect. So then you're very likely, much less likely to show on the waves. If they know, they have the information guaranteed that they are not able to connect. But if they don't, well, that's just, risk and reward, But in the end, what matters, if the wave is pushed in, and you don't need to show on the wave, because you showing on the wave is just asking for enemies to come. And then is the question, do I want to ask them to come? And so sometimes the answer is yes. Because your carry is farming here, mid lane is farming here. And if you show up aggressively, that means they are not gonna kill them, right? Or maybe they do, but that means you're getting the same farm as the mid laner or carry in aggressive plays. And that's good for you. Because maybe your mid laner has a bad game, but then you do have a good game. So you can basically swap the priorities in terms of farm. Right?
Okay, I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say like in this example, it's bottom lane, pushing it, right? And let's say I'm the only guy in my team who is playing on the enemy's half of the map. So I'm at the bottom wave and I'm pushing into bottom tier 2 as Radiant, right? So as in enemies die. And then my top lane wave is, let's say, the dire tier 1 area, somewhere there. Yeah. Okay. No, my cores are not there. No one is there. Like do I just push it in and then I don't know, gate over or something and go for this wave as well, or what do I do? So assume all my cores, which is very common, like all my cores and all my fellow support, they never cross the river, for example.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. That's the one of the right plays is just to do exactly what you described. So just like farm here, go back to the portal and swap the lanes. Because that forces enemies to come here, then your fast hero that just runs away to the portal, and then you're on the other side of the map. Let's assume this tower is not there, right?
Okay.
But sometimes the right play, it's all... Okay, so the starting point of you thinking in this situation would be, I'm playing here, I'm playing aggressive, I draw on the minimap, my core is farming triangle, I draw on the minimap, go here, farm here, I show bot, they will gank me. And that gives them space to farm this area, farm this wave, and then maybe they go on you, or maybe they go on him. But in the end, what matters is one of you is getting free farm in aggressive part of the map, right? Because, this wave is dead, then this wave is dead, and this camp is dead, this camp is dead for the enemy, for your carry, right? But if you played here and you draw the line and, your carry doesn't want to do this, don't stay in one area for too long because that's just asking to die.
Okay.
If you have no, if you get no advantage of you being there, it's just like if you're losing farm here in less aggressive... Okay, another way to explain this. You playing in aggressive areas means you have way safer farm to take, But if your safe farm for some reason is not taken and it's quite safe for you, then take the safe farm then.
Okay.
In ideal world, you create advantage in the laning stage, and then your cores are able to farm aggressively. And that's the ideal world. Because in the end, they are strong enough for them to just farm here. Let's imagine you have Quop, right? She farms here. They cannot kill her. They bring 3 heroes, she just blinks away, right?
then she's
Yeah.
doesn't need to worry about that. That's the ideal world. But the problem is, at your MMR, people won't take advantage of this. Or maybe players like this Larkwell, right? Like we can go to his perspective. I can guarantee you,
Radiant bottom
he's
tower
gonna be mostly farming aggressive. He wants to kill people.
tower right? Radiant towers coming. Our towers radiant. Darkness to the towers.
Take the try,
Dire's top
pushing towers.
Top towers get Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Always killing. Kind of afraid doesn't have the ultimate. Okay, here's the ultimate. He wants to... Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't get the ultimate. I'm gonna farm a cat damage for him. Gets a blink. And guess what? Deep storm. Plays aggressive.
Top.
That's the ideal world. In ideal world, you have this arc because you secured his lane, right? I mean, on the off lane. That's just what happens sometimes. So yeah, playing aggressive is only for you if you don't really have. Sorry, farming aggressively is only for you if you don't have a core that wants to farm aggressively, for any reasons that they have. Just because they're bad, or maybe they want to finish an item, or maybe it's like AM that doesn't want to farm aggressively because he wants to finish his items, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of reasons for that. But in games that you have very strong cores that want to farm aggressively, it's fine for you to, like if your co-op is farming here, you can farm like this camp and then just connect every time. You don't need to farm aggressively every game. But keep that in mind. So the most important thing about it, you playing the laning stage so far is divine level. Now, if you can manage to get your team to control better portion of the map and just farm aggressively, that means you're gonna win even more games. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
You have
No, because like I can't control my teammates, right? So yeah, I can only just do what is like the best I can do. I mean, like it varies. Farms aggressively.
No. I know what you were trying to say. So,
Yeah.
in order to play aggressively and farm aggressively, you have to learn a few things. So, first thing is you need to look at the map. So, first of all, you need to think about what kills you in the enemy, of the enemies, right? And then you need to be aware of their position. So, let's say in this game, you're able to die to basically anything. Because that's true, right?
Yep.
If it's solo lifestealer, you're not able to die. But other than that, maybe Razor solo doesn't kill you, but any support plus any core kills you. Then in those kind of games, it's gonna be very hard for you to farm aggressively. Yeah, that's right. So that means you'd much rather get your cores a good game and then let them farm aggressively. But in the last game, it was very hard for enemies to kill you, right? So in this kind of game, you can farm aggressively. Okay, so if we imagine, okay, I can farm aggressively, what do I need to do? Then you carry a ward with yourself, and then you place the ward in an area that they will be coming from. So if you want to play here, in this area, maybe you place an ops here. Or even here, right, on the cliff. Or place ops here, and then you control this area to get the shrine, right?
Yep.
And after you take the shrine, farm there is, well, like, the risk and reward is way less. So maybe you're likely to connect to the top lane then. Yeah, that's right. But maybe they show up 3 heroes on the top lane or mid lane. Then you're like, okay, the other 2 heroes that can show up here, they cannot kill me. So I'm perfectly fine to stay here, and maybe they will just, run through the whole map to catch me. But that's a minute they are wasting.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna repeat that. I think your laning stage is fine. Try to play aggressive, and then good luck with your climb then.
Okay, I'll try to play aggressive in the next few games and see how. Hopefully, like I'll get to games where I try to play aggressive and I keep dying. Then there's something to talk about, like in
Yeah,
our
I mean,
next
the
session.
games like this will happen, but if you start taking the map and you have gold advantage, then maybe you get a glimmer cape, and then you're gonna be able to escape because you have a glimmer cape out of the towers you took, and then you play aggressive, and then you glimmer away, right? Because that's one
Ah,
thing you
yes.
need to consider as well.
That brings me to the next question. So, like after arcade, like do you get glimmer first or do you get ether lens first?
Yeah, I think Ether Lens is like luxury item that is very useful. And then you need to ask yourself, do I risk much if I connect deep into the fights? So it's like if they have enemies that are able to kill you and you need to stay away from the fight, that in much more likely and your spells are useful, right? Then it's much more
Mhm.
likely for you to have Ether Lens than Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape is usually a very strong item if you want to play aggressive. And the Ether Lens
Okay.
is like, I need to play more defensively or just, take towers. And then obviously our Ether Lens also increases your farm, right? Because it gives you mana and then allows you to hit more creeps.
Yep.
Glimmer Cape. So
Oh, that's
usually, yeah, the first two items you get is Ether Lens, Glimmer Cape, usually.
okay. But which one first? It really depends on the situation. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying, right? Oh, but that's quite interesting. Like I always thought glimmer clay was a defensive item. That's a save. It's a defensive item
Yes.
in the sense that because it's a save. It invis. But you're saying ether lens is actually a more defensive glimmer cape.
No, 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 no. Ether Lens allows you to play more defensive. I mean, more in the backline. But that doesn't mean it's like a very defensive item. It's just like the difference between you being able to walk in and use the glimmer and not being able to walk in and cast your spells. So let's imagine you have a I don't know versus Quap. That's the hero. You cannot really go into the fights and use your spells because her ultimate is gonna catch you with the end, right? So maybe
Mhm.
versus co-op you get the Ether Lens, and then you heal off your mid laner that is getting bursted by co-op, and that's gonna be the difference. But honestly, the difference between Ether Lens and Glimmer Cape on Pugna is not that much of a difference for you, because in the end you're probably gonna get both items anyways, and just a
Yeah,
matter of
yeah, yeah.
you getting early. So if you want to play aggressive, I think you get the Glimmer Cape, because imagine this: you took their tower, you have 70% of the map, and then the supports are very poor. You took their shrine and you play aggressive, right? And then they have to buy this fucking dust as well. Or maybe the supports don't show up to the fight and the core is not able to kill you because you have a glimmer cape, right?
Ah, okay, okay, okay. I'll try. I'll try
It's
with.
very good. It's very good. But the most
Got it.
important part, don't forget to buy your art. 7 minutes, okay?
Yes, yes. I think that's something I still need to fix. Is I hope I don't show up in the next session with the same issues. Like,
I I'm watching you, and I think you did a lot in this game. I mean, sorry, in this from the last session. Like the improvement is huge. Like I was watching your laning stage, and you had no idea what to do, and now I'm watching, and I'm telling you, divine level, right? And now it's just a matter of playing enough, and then playing in the mid game aggressively. And if you fuck up and you die like 3-4 times, and you cannot find the reason, then yeah, go for another session and talk with me about it. But other than that, you can like always look back into your games and you ask yourself, am I able to play aggressive there? If I die like 3 times, what was the reason? Maybe I underestimated them, or maybe I didn't look enough at the map, or maybe me dying there was a good idea, because in the end my cores are farming, so it's fine. So you're gonna have games that you play aggressively and you die 4 times, but it's still good for you because your cores are farming. And then they are able to
okay,
carry you.
okay, okay. Maybe like what I can do is next time I have a replay or something, then I can send it to you right? Just the number, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you what my conclusions are of the replay,
Works
and then you
perfect.
can tell me is it correct or is it wrong? You know,
No, no,
if
no,
I'm
no,
wrong,
no, 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 no. Let's do it. Just send me the replay.
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it for free and just tell you if you were right about your thoughts or not.
yeah.
Okay, it's perfectly fine for me. Because
That's
I
good
can,
for me as well
yeah,
because it forces me to think, right, rather than just let me just give Saab a call.
I don't think you belong to this bracket up to this point. This game is obviously different because you're playing against Smurf that has a very good game. Like you can see him playing around his timings, getting the blink, watching out for his ultimate. I'm telling you, this is not your bracket, but you're playing way above your bracket as well. The problem is, if you play against Smurf that is a core and you're a support, it's gonna be harder for you to win the games. Because, they have this head start with the farm, right?
Yep. That's true.
Okay, keep me updated then. Good luck.
Okay, I will keep you updated. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It was a
Bye
good
bye.
session. Bye bye. Thank you.